Hi, my name is Leonie and I have the pleasure to do an interview with one of the star dancers of Lord of the Dance tonight. Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance is one of the most popular and most successful tap dance shows in the world. It has been seen by over 60 million people in countries on every continent and has broken a lot of box office records. For 16 years the show has been touring and is still going strong, even though Michael Flatley is not dancing in person any longer. I'm standing next to James Keegan, who is currently touring Europe as the youngest lead dancer in the show's history. Hi James, nice to meet you.
Hi Leonie.
First of all, how did you start Irish dancing?
I started Irish dancing when I was 4 years old. Being from an Irish family, it's kind of tradition and in our culture to do something Irish, whether it was Irish music, Irish dance, Gaelic football. So yeah, my sister had done Irish dancing and my parents sent me along with her, and that was it. It just went from there.
Did you like it?
At first I didn't. I was 4 years old. I think there was a lot of tears and I was crying and I would try to run out of class, and I think I actually stopped going for a few months, and then I can't remember what happened. I just ended up going back, and then I must have liked it. I just stayed with it.
And who taught you?
It was a lady called Eileen Lally. She's from Manchester, where I'm from in the UK. There was Eileen, and she had some sisters, Pat, Kath, and she also had a niece called Claire Rusher. So there was a group of them, and they used to teach me 3 or 4 times a week for a lot of years, 10, 12 years. So.
Wow, and do you have any idols?
Growing up I was a big football fan, so my idols would be more to do with that, as looking to people for inspiration. But in the Irish dancing world, the obvious answer would be Michael Flatley, because of his achievements and because he is, what he's done for Irish dancing is amazing. So he'd be the obvious answer. But for me personally, since I joined, it would be friends of mine, older friends who were already in the show when I joined, and it was kind of looking to them for inspiration and for guidance, especially when it came to learning the role that I play. And they'd be like friends of mine like Des Bailey and Damien O'Kane, Nick Fallon. There's close friends really.
Yeah, and how long have you been dancing for Lord of the Dance?
That was when I joined, was in 2003, and I was 16 years old, just about to turn 17. Yeah. So I was very young. Looking back, I still feel young now. So back then I was just kind of a boy coming in to all these people who they'd been involved from the beginning. Some of them since 1996. So I came in and. It was just the whole thing was like a roller coaster, It was a dream come true, an amazing experience. I was travelling, it was great friends. It was just everything kind of rolled into one. So that was 9 years ago almost.
And what are your most impressive memories over that time?
There's so many, because it's 9 years, but. The ones that would stand out for me is obviously performing the lead role in my hometown for my family in Manchester. So because family can come and visit if we're in Germany or Europe or wherever, but there's only so often, and not all of them can come. So to perform in Manchester for all my friends, ex-dancing teachers, close relatives, it was just to get everybody there on the one night, it was a great feeling.
And they are all very proud of you?
Yeah, they're all very proud, I think, especially my parents and my sisters. But yeah, that was just one highlight. I've got obviously performing with Michael Flatley for the first time was just surreal, because we've worked with him in the past, and when he's come to see us, and we've spoken or we had spoken and stuff, but then I'm not a person that would usually get starstruck, when I see famous people, but just when I actually danced behind him for the first time, you know, he really does have that stage presence and that awe about him, that it was just, you know, what he's done for Irish dancing and for me and everybody in the cast. You know, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So to actually dance behind him, it was just kind of, you know, the goosebumps, hairs on the back of your neck moment. So yeah, that was another one. So they're just a few to pick out.
And did you feel sort of controlled?
It was just, you know, when Michael comes out to see us, or you know, when he did his tour in 2010, I think it was, where he actually performed for the entire tour. Yeah, it's just a great feeling. I mean, we were dancing to 10, 15,000 people each night, and it was, you know, he is a legend. You know, what he's done is just an amazing achievement, and it was just, we were all proud to dance behind him. It was special.
And when did you get the opportunity to dance the leading part?
I was quite young. I joined, as I said, in 2003, and it was in 2004, so I was 17 years old, and I was in South Africa, and I'd been learning the role off one of the guys I was telling you about, Des Bailey. He was a lead at the time, and he had been understudy to Michael Flatley, so then he was then teaching me, and yeah, I trained for about 6 months and then got the opportunity to do it, and it was just, well, it was, I won't say amazing because the nerves were unbelievable, you know, I was so nervous, but from what I can remember, it was special, it was enjoyable.
And did you also work with Michael Flatley to prepare the role?
Yeah, Michael, at the time, I seen him once or twice, and obviously he'd give, you know, just wise words and, you know, just about how to cope and one thing and another. And then obviously since I've been performing the role over the last 8 years, he's always coming out and he'll give, you know, tips and points and yeah, to try and make everybody, myself, improve. Yeah.
Okay, tell us something about the show. How many dancers are in the company?
There is about 35 to 40 people in the cast. Usually about 20 guys, 20 girls. And yeah, we all get on great. It's like we travel together, work together, socialise together. So it's like we're all great friends, there's relationships, there's 2 people are married, 2 people are engaged. You know, it's just like one big, huge family. And then obviously you have the crew guys, you know, the stage guys behind the scenes. So there's about 20 of them. So it's a lot of people travelling around at once. But yeah, we have fun. It's ups and downs. But yeah, it's mostly a lot of fun.
And how much time does it need to get ready for the show?
In preparation for each show every night, do you mean? Yeah. Usually we start, if the show's at 8 p.m, we'll start getting ready at 6:30, 7. Like we'll come in obviously in the daytime and rehearse, but then actually getting ready for the show, we'll just a normal warm-up for like, you know, 30 minutes, 1 hour, get our bodies nice and warm, stretch, and yeah, get ready for the show.
It's Michael Flatley's show, and everybody knows him and wants to see him on stage. It must be really hard for you always to be compared with him. How do you deal with it?
I don't find it too hard. I mean, yeah, there has been times where I think people might be expecting Michael to come flying out the curtain, but you know, and it's not just because of me; it's because of the whole cast. But well, not that I know of, we've never had anybody be disappointed at the end of a show or complain at the end of a show. You know, people still are on their feet, clapping, and so as long as we see that people are still enjoy the show, we're still making people happy, and that's the best we can do, because, you know, I'm not Michael Flatley, and nobody will be. You know, as I said, the guy was just unbelievable, and it's his role. You know, it is his role. So all we can do is, or all I can do is just try and put my own spin on it, my own style, but also keeping it, in some ways similar to the way Michael did it. And if I get anywhere near or anywhere close, then I'm happy, and everybody else is, I think.
And as the leading dancer, isn't it a strange feeling that your name is not as connected to the show as Michael Flatley's name?
Yeah, well, it's Michael Flatley's show, isn't it? And it wasn't me that started it. It wasn't, as I said, what he did, to have the idea and to have the vision to make the show. He deserves all the credit he gets, and as I said, it's still his show. He's out here. He comes out, trains us, gives us advice. So I'm just glad and honoured to be performing his role and to get the opportunity to still dance all over the world. I'm doing what I enjoy doing. I love my job, and just to be the front man and to get that chance that's a good enough thing for me.
When you're not on tour, you're teaching Irish dancing. How popular is Irish dancing in Ireland and Great Britain with young people? Do they think it is something old-fashioned and traditional, or is it still something every child wants to do?
I think it's actually it's reversed of what you said. It would have been like that back in the 80s, 90s. When I was growing up, that's definitely how it was viewed. When I was at school, people would think, I used to have to wear a kilt, like a skirt almost, when I was competing. So you can imagine friends at school would think, see a picture in the newspaper and looks like I'm wearing a skirt. So you can imagine how that went down. So yeah, there was definitely the view of, it was this old, traditional, boring dance. And then when Lord of the Dance came on the scene and Riverdance and all these shows, it just made it exciting, fresh, colourful. And so now I think that's why, when I'm teaching back home in Ireland, throughout Europe now, there's so many dancing schools. America, Irish dancing's even bigger than it is in Ireland and the UK. And I think it is all because of Michael Flatley, because of what the shows have done. They've put it on the map, and it's more popular than ever. It's great.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And two guys of a lot of the dance, two dancers, they mixed techno with tap dance and landed a YouTube hit.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Do you think this is a new direction?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's got to that stage now where people are looking for new directions. The show's been going over 15 years now. So yeah, I think people are just trying to come up with some new ideas while the show's still going strong. But people are just trying to keep the Irish dancing fresh. Kieran and Zach, Taptronic, I think they called it, is unbelievable. Like, I've watched it over and over, and it's had like 500,000 hits on YouTube. And it's just a great idea. It just works so well. They're both amazing dancers. Like, their feet are just incredible. So yeah, I just think it's a great idea, and I hope they do really well.
What do you think is the future of tap dance in common, and especially the future of Lord of the Dance?
The future of both. I mean, you've got these people coming up with new ideas now, and like so many talented people, like Zach and Kieran that we were just talking about. I just think people are going to start getting all these new ideas, and who knows, what's going to come out of it. But I think Irish dancing, tap dancing, it'll just get stronger and stronger. I mean, the way Lord of the Dance, as I said, it's gone for more than 15 years. Because people just love it. Like, they never get tired of it. It's such, it's so exciting to watch. So I think this will go for years, many more years, as well as other things maybe coming into the spotlight as well.
And how long do you plan to go on with the show?
Just as long as I keep enjoying it. I mean, I've enjoyed it for 9 years, so I hopefully won't get tired anytime soon. As long as my body, I stay fit, stay healthy, then there's no better feeling than jumping out that curtain, whether it's 2,000 or 10,000 people, you know, to be cheering and clapping at the end of the show. That's what makes it hard to give up. You know, you just when I'll go home for a break for a month or two, and I'll be like, you know, that was a tough tour, but then I can't wait to get back because you just miss that feeling. So I'd say I'll be around for a while. Yeah.
Okay, great. And what would you do if you couldn't dance in Lot of the Dance any longer?
Well, I've passed my teacher's exam last year, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely go into teaching. I've already started teaching at home with my sister, so just teach the next generation and try and hopefully give some of them the opportunities that I've been and we've all been fortunate to have. So yeah, just probably something like that.
Okay, thanks a lot for the interview, and I hope you will have a great show tonight.
Thanks, Leonie. Thank you.